give them a very standing ovation if I can request you to kindly. Thank you very much. Lovely. We have Sandeepan here on the stage. He is thanking everybody, felicitating, and now it's such a great pleasure to have all the starting people of the family. Request. Huh? Sandeepan, would you like to say a few words? I think it was very
I've been asked to say a few words, but we can say many more words. This is not an occasion for a few words. They are the pioneers, they are the leaders. They have so many years of experience. And I can tell you when they joined IIT Kharagpur in the first batch, they didn't have even beds to sleep in. Many of them slept on floors. Am I right, sir? So I have checked out all the history. They slept on floors. But who took care of them were the professors. Professor Gyan Ghosh, he was the director at that point of time, and most of them joined courtesy Gyan Ghosh. Am I right for that also? So the pull was that of the faculty. There were some discussions today of the faculty quality at IIT. That was the quality of the faculty. And the students proved that what they are worth, they made the brand. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And I wish many more would have been here. Some are not so well, but thank you very much again. Thank you.
Everybody was getting the same question.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would now have amongst us Ms. Mamata Sankar, who is a well-established actress, a dancer, a choreographer par excellence. She is a multifaceted talent. She's acted in films by renowned film directors such as Satyajit Ray, Mrinal Sen, Rituparna Ghosh, Buddhadev Dasgupta, Gautam Ghosh, and the list goes on and on. She is the daughter of legendary actors Uday Shankar and Amala Shankar, and the niece of sitar maestro Pandit Ravi Shankar. She runs Udayan, the Mamata Sankar dance company, and travels extensively throughout the world with the Mamata Sankar ballet troupe. She has been the recipient of National Film Awards for her role in Satyajit Ray's Aguntuk. Without further ado, I would request her to take the stage and entertain all of us and help us unwind and relax after a long, hard day. Thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All the friends of IITs all over the world, delegates and visitors to our city of Calcutta, on behalf of Mamata Sankar Dance Company, may I welcome you all to the city of joy, to the city of culture, to the city of Calcutta, to the city of Tagore. Our offering this evening begins with a song which reminds us not only of Tagore, but how we all hail a life and the fire that burns within humanity all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Aguner Poroshmone.
আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়া প্রাণে এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো,
এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো দহন দানে।
আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো দহন দানে। আমার এই দেহখানি তুলে ধরো, তোমার ওই দেবালয়ের প্রদীপ করো। আমার এই দেহখানি তুলে ধরো, তোমার ওই দেবালয়ের প্রদীপ করো। নিশিদিন আলো শিখা
আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো। আধারের গায়ে গায়ে পরশ তব, সারা রাত ফোটাক তারা নব নব।
আধারের গায়ে গায়ে পরশ তব, সারা রাত ফোটাক তারা নব নব।
নয়নের দৃষ্টি হতে খুঁজবে কালো, যেখানে পড়বে সেখায় দেখবে আলো। নয়নের দৃষ্টি হতে খুঁজবে কালো, যেখানে
এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো, এই জীবন পূর্ণ করো নবদানে। আগুনের পরশে
ছোঁয়া প্রাণে।
Ladies and gentlemen, our next offering will be a dance drama, Amritasya Putra. This dance drama doesn't have any songs or dialogues. It's based only on music. And I would request you to kindly listen carefully to the synopsis which I'll be giving you right now. That will help you in following the dance drama as it unfolds. We are all a spark of that divinity which is born from the 5 divine elements: fire, space, wind, earth, and water. The soul moves in various forms in the cosmic world before entering the human body. They say that the world is a stage where a divine plays on, and we all have come to enact different characters assigned to us by the divine power. We see various roles in characters in our society. Some arrogant, some assertive, some happy-go-lucky, some insane, and some pensive in their appearance. The very first emotional experience that we have in our life is that of love. Mother's selfless, untainted, and ever-caring love. The second stage of love is that of a friend, having no gender barriers, pure, innocent, and sparkling with happiness. The third stage of love is the awareness of love between a man and a woman, like a flower's longing for the sun and rain, sacred and pure. But then, gradually ignorance and delusion creeps in and moves us away from our own true self. The same love, which so far was divine, innocent and pure, changes into lust, greed, desire and ego, breeding hatred, jealousy, anger and violence. And at the end, all that we are left with is pain, suffering and sorrow. And it is then out of repentance that our inner search begins for the ultimate truth. And someday we realize that we all are a spark of that divinity. We all are Amritasya Putra. The concept, choreography and direction is by Mamata Sankar. The music has been compiled from compositions of Pate Lockett, Al Groma Khan, Ustad Zakir Hussain, Brent Louis, and Chandrachud Mukherjee of Calcutta. And the participants this evening are Payal, Shudeshna, Amrita, Shreya, Deboshmita, Shorita, Shilpa, Rishita, Moli, Tamosri, Shushanto, Oshit, Shudip, Nitai, Rudro, Shantanu, Shudipto, Tathagato, Shayan, and of course, Mamata Sankar. The voiceover that little there is by Chandrodaya Ghosh. The costumes have been designed by Mamata Sankar, assisted by Giribala Roy. Sound this evening is controlled by Krishnajit Munshi. The lighting design and supervision is by Chandrodaya Ghosh. And this evening, the lights are being controlled by Radhul Shankar Ghosh with assistance from Alok Prakash Ghosh and Lalan Prasad. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Amritasya Putra, produced by Chandrodaya Ghosh, directed by Mamata Sankar. Amritasya Putra.
na 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 de
What evil destroys belief? What vile violence breeds vast wastelands of despair and sorrow? Is this the inheritance of man's selfishness? Is this the fruit of misdirected worship? Drowned in the fathomless sorrow and misery, humanity hangs its head in shame. And then the search begins for that eternal flash of truth. For there is a light that shines beyond all things on earth, beyond the heaven, the very highest heavens. That is the light that shines in our hearts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was really an honor for Mamata Sankar Dance Company being able to perform in front of such an august audience here in Calcutta, the Science City Auditorium. And we thank the organizing committee of PANIIT being held in Kolkata this year for giving us this opportunity of performing in expressive, supportive, and a wonderful audience. Of course, whenever we think of IIT, it is there always with us. And we would hope that in future we get other occasions to be in front of you with other presentations of ours. But I'll be failing in my duties if I do not mention the people without whom this performance this evening would have been possible. The sound this evening was controlled by Krishnajit Munshi, and the lights were handled by Ratul Shankar Ghosh, assisted by Alok Prakash Ghosh and Lalan Prasad. And lastly, on my behalf, I am Chandrodoy, my wife Mamata, and all of us, thank you so very much for giving us this opportunity. Have a wonderful time in the city of Calcutta. Namaskar. Goodbye.
On behalf of PANIIT Alumni Association, we thank the entire troupe for this wonderful performance. Thank you. I would also request the guests to kindly remain seated because we have amongst us Mr. Pallam Raju, the Union Cabinet Minister, HRD. I would request Mr. Chandipon Chakraborty to kindly come up on stage.
Very good evening to all of you ladies and gentlemen again. And I must tell you that Chandrodoy or Mamata, I was talking about this program for more than a year. And I'm so happy that they agreed to come and perform. And they gave me a menu, of so many alternatives. So I left it to them. They chose Amrita Se Putra, and I think it is just fantastic. Thank you so very much. And from behalf of PANIIT, thank you very much again. Thank you, Chandrodoy. Thank you, Mamata. Thank you, all the artists. You are great. And the people behind. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us our respected Union Minister of Education, Mr. Pallam Raju, who will be just addressing us, not too long, but just enough to keep you engaged. And most important is, you must understand that Parliament is on. He was attending Parliament. He had no reason really to come. Tomorrow morning he has to go back to his constituency. But he chose to come and spend time with us. It is very difficult to find people like this, and we are really honored to have you with us, sir. And since you're one of us, and since we are all IITians and a little, let us say, informal, The podium and all, as you can see, they have gone behind because of that. Would it be okay and in order if I could invite you and you could just come up with me and just share your thoughts? It is informal and it would be wonderful. And Mr. Ronirudhu Lahiri is escorting Mr. Pallamraju up. Thank you very much, sir. There are no formalities. You see what has happened is the flower people have gone, though we can get them just now, but it will only, but we'll do something. And if I can hand you over the mic, and will it be okay?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman of the PANIIT, Mr. Chakraborty. Okay. Members and distinguished alumni of the PANIIT, families of the PANIIT members, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank you all for this opportunity to be able to talk to all of you. And I promise you I won't be long. But I think Mr. Chakraborty said the wrong things. He said Parliament is in session, which is, it is in session. And we are frustrated a lot because of the frequent disruptions. We haven't had an opportunity to speak. So I hope I won't vent it out all here. I heard that this is the first time that the PANIIT conference is being held in Calcutta. And I've transited through Calcutta a number of times, but I see a lot of changes. And coming in through Salt Lake City and the new city, I see how the city is growing and how the environment is changing. And I hope this would be the trend everywhere in the country. I've just made a transition after spending 7 years in the Ministry of Defense as a junior minister. And I've just got inducted into as a cabinet minister for the human resource development. So I'm still in that phase where I've, to the surprise of most vice chancellors, I'm addressing them as general or admiral, and they're caught by surprise. But I see the potential here, and I think there is so much to be done. India has aspirations, and we have a young aspirational population. And I think the challenge is India is such a very diverse country. I'm not talking about, and it's not it's a diverse country and a very heterogeneous country. We are proud of our diversity, but I think the challenge is the heterogeneous nature of the country. And I think the challenge is in aligning individual aspirations with the aspirations of the nation. And I think that is where the human resources come into play. And I think the key to transforming these human resources towards propelling this nation forward is in empowering them through education, knowledge, skill sets, and learning to work together. And I think that's the challenge ahead of me. But unfortunately, I have very little time. But I know that the PAN-IITians have good intentions, and I hope that I can share some of my thoughts on what are the areas that need to be worked upon. My initial thoughts as soon as I came into the ministry was, I think, the two important things I see where one has to focus the resources of the nation is in building the quality of our teachers. And you're all aware that we've had a very, very ambitious program called the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan program, and the Right to Education Act, which has made it mandatory that by March 2013, every child in the country would go to school. And because of the rollout of the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan program, we have almost 20 crores of children going to school today. And it is a big step. You know, we've created the infrastructure, we've hired the teachers, although there is tremendous shortage of teachers in a number of states, including West Bengal. But I think the real transformation would be in the 12th five-year plan, where we want to focus on the quality. And quality begins with the teacher. And I think that is where we all have to do our own in trying to empower the teachers. And that is what I feel where government has to spend its resources. I think probably corporate resource spend has to be targeted there. We have to make the learning environment of the teacher himself exciting, so that he builds up his knowledge base and he will be able to do a good job at imparting this knowledge out to the children. The other critical area I see with a young population, I believe the figures are about, we have a population of about 550 million, which is below the age of 25. And I think, and not everybody is academically oriented. And I think the challenge here is to build up their vocational skill sets. And that has also been defined as an important mission by the Prime Minister. And some of you must be aware that Mr. Ramadura is the chairman of the National Skill Development Council, which is chaired by the Prime Minister, and Mr. Ramadura is the vice chairman. So I think we have to transform our polytechnics, our ITIs, our workshops, the PPP mode of skill development centers that are going to come up. And I think this is where another area that we have to strengthen and create the environment where a student or a young person can walk in and feel that here's the environment where I can pick up some skill sets that will make me stand on my feet. And I think I see these two as the main challenges. If you talk about higher education, I think the real challenge is in bringing the various faculties in universities out of their silo environment. We have universities, but it's not a university. I don't think most universities have this sharing of information across disciplines. That's not happening actively. And I think that is what we have to draw the true potential of the universities out. And the most important thing is to focus on research and innovation, and that can only happen with strong linkages with industry. So these I see are the challenges ahead, and I'm sure that the PAN-IITians would rise up to the challenge. Please keep this at the back of your mind, these three areas that I mentioned, and how to go about it. I cannot define a vision yet. I've just come into the chair, but I see the potential of what can be done. And I can guarantee you that as the minister, I'm willing to work hard, and I'm looking to all of you for directions. And I'm sure that with your patriotic spirit, you will all enable me in my endeavor to make a transformation in the little time I have. But at least if we can set up the building blocks, that will be enough for the country to leap forward. I was in Russia recently, and I happened to visit the farm of Leo Tolstoy. And there is this very famous quote of Leo Tolstoy, where he says that what you imagine to be you, the image of yourself is defined by the denominator, and what you really are is defined by the numerator. The bigger your ego, the smaller the fraction. So I think as individuals and as a nation, we have an image of ourselves and an ego of about ourselves. And we also know what the reality is. So whether you want India to be a small fraction or a big fraction is in our hands and in our collective efforts. And I hope that we will all be able to rise up to the challenge to make this country proud and great. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I would now kindly request Mr. Sandipan Chakravarti, Chairman of the Steering Committee, PAN-IIT, to hand over a memento.
But there's a dokra. It's called dokra, and it comes from Shantiniketan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will proceed for dinner, where, I'm sure if you want to interact with him, he'll be most happy to interact with you, and that's a place where I think there'll be lots of people. And let me tell you something, that Mr. Palam Raju is not coming here for the first time. In fact, I have been fortunate, and I'm sure you'll remember, sir, that we had a CII symposium, and you came as from the defense.
Right.
And we had a defense session, and his knowledge about defense is something astounding. And I still remember that. And when he came and he spoke, he is an engineer. He has done his postgraduate in USA. He has done various amount of portfolios. And as I said, the last was from defense when he came and he spent time with us, to education. All I can say, sir, that education is in very good hands. And we have a lot of expectations from you. Thank you. Please join us for dinner. Thank you, sir.